next, and it's another fact-finding class of sorts. Just I'm absolutely curious about what you all are thinking about some things. Okay, so can you go to the next slide? So today is the anniversary of 9/11. We had Social 19 at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, September 11th, and it was really, really powerful experience. Sometimes people ask me what has been the most memorable Social 19 class, and I often reference that one. In that we had a couple people in class who had parents or relatives. One was a father, and one was a brother or a sister, who worked in the Twin Trade Towers in New York. And this was back before everybody had a cell phone, and people had flip phones and that kind of thing. But they didn't know if they're in the case of their father, and I think it was a brother who survived, and it was a really intense class, and it was down the hall, and really, really just profound, because I knew that the world had shifted on that day, and it was, and it did. Things were really, really powerful, and a lot of people were canceling class. But what I heard from my students really early on that morning, I heard from a bunch of people, and they're like, "Don't cancel class. We need to have class." So that evening, then we had a gathering. My class really pushed it. We had a gathering, a vigil at the Peace Garden, and a lot of you probably don't know even what the Peace Garden is. It's that little park behind McAllister building next to the hub, between Henderson and McAllister next to the hub. And that is called the Peace Garden because we had a random shooting on campus in the I think around 97, and some young woman who was mentally ill brought a gun to campus and killed one student and wounded another student on the hub lawn. And so that's why that garden exists. And it's funny how these stories are there, and we don't, they're there in the memories of people like myself who have been around, but other folks don't know. But that's what that is when you go into that garden. And so we had a gathering that night of September 11th in the Peace Garden, and then students, it was the only thing that really happened on campus. Everything was just completely shut down, but we did that, and lots of students from many, many different parts of campus came, and we did a candlelight vigil, and it was good. It was important, and it's just important in these times. And then yesterday, we had the killing of Charlie Kirk. And Charlie Kirk has spoken in this room a couple of times.
Oh, really?
And he is for those who don't know, he started university when he was 18, like many of you, most of you. And, he really wanted to be involved and be active. And when he got to the university, and I met Charlie Kirk when he was here the first time, he decided that he started taking classes, and he sat in on some of these big lecture classes, and, where you take notes. They put PowerPoint slides up, and, you write notes down, and then few weeks later, you take an exam and you see if you can memorize everything that was on those PowerPoint slides. And then as soon as you take the exam, you forget it all because it doesn't matter to your life and it's irrelevant. And he started doing that, and he said, "This is not for me. I actually want to do something. I want to be active. I want to be involved. I want to get young. I want to get people like me really active in changing the world." And so he dropped out.
Wow.
And he had the courage to drop out, right? Which, a lot of folks probably get to that same place, but they don't do that. But he did. And, he's pretty quite talented from a really young age. He was.
And so this his courageous lifestyle didn't just start, at its adult age. It started from his young age. No wonder he did all what he did. When I realized how old he was, like I'm still blown away by how old he was. Just 31. But the feat that guy was able to accomplish in that short period he lived, man, very impressive.
A talented, speaker and um, developed a kind of a sense of confidence and, chose his ideas that were important to him. We all have certain. Well, not we don't all. A lot of us are just kind of floating through the world, and we haven't really found ourselves yet. But he had certain ideas that were important, and then over the years, those ideas, shifted in different directions. But I listened to him a lot, and you can. One thing I want to say that's very important. We have, I don't know, like 1,200 hours of video up from Social 119. And in 1,200 hours, if you scroll through 1,200 hours of video, you can find something that you can find a lot of things that you like, and you can find a lot of things that you don't like. And then you can, form your opinion, whichever way you want to go. Like, I like this guy, or I like this class, or this is a good class, this is valuable, etc. Or I don't. And this is stupid, and this guy's whatever, a knucklehead, or he's bad for young people, or whatever the case is. And, Social 119 is really important, and more students should take it, or Social 119 should be shut down. You can scroll through those 1,000+ hours of video and find whatever you want to find to make your point, right? Well, the same with somebody like him. Same with anybody like that. He's very. I would listen to him often and be like, listen to him debating someone. I'd be like, okay, that's a good point. That's a cool point. Okay, that's good. Okay, I don't like that. That's like, yeah. Oh, that's cool.
See, that's how it should be. See, there is nobody on earth that you agree with them 100%. I don't think I've ever agreed with anybody 100%. Even my mom, I don't agree with her 100%. That's why we are human. There is no way anybody on earth will agree with me 100%. Even the person you are in love with, that you know that you can go to the end of the world for, you don't agree with them 100%. So that doesn't mean because you don't agree with the person, you should not tell the person that the person is evil or the person is, should be taken care of, should be taken out of the world. Come on, guys.
No, that's not cool. I don't like that. And that's how life is. And that's how life should be.
Yeah.
And if you're really engaged, that's how it should be. You can't, if you listen to someone or find somebody out there in the world who you agree with on everything, then you probably can assume that you have some degree of schizophrenia or psychosis because you're listening to yourself. Because there's nobody anywhere that you agree with 100% of the time. That's the nature of it, right? So, people with me, sometimes they take a little tiny clip out of 8 seconds and they're like, oh, this guy is a lunatic, right? I'm like, well, you didn't get the 8 seconds before and you didn't get the 8 seconds after. You got that 8 seconds. Well, that happens a lot. And I'm watching that now on, Reddit and on Twitter and on different things, So I want to caution you all, caution everybody to be careful about doing this to anyone, okay? In any case, he kind of essentially is assassinated for his ideas. for challenging people. And like, whoa, whoa. Uh, man, I've received death threats. Okay, so like this is like this is serious. Like we're in this space. Here we are. Okay, so Gary the Willard Preacher over the years. I'm a friend of Gary's. Gary and I have done a couple debates together as fundraising endeavors, fundraising debates, because students in this class used to raise money for projects that we were doing in Haiti for many years. And so a couple different groups of students and a couple different semesters, they said, hey, can you do a debate with Gary? And then we'll charge admission to the debate, and then that's the money that we'll donate to this project in Haiti. So I've always told students, hey, listen, man, you want to hone your thinking skills? Go try to debate Gary. Right? Go try to debate him, man. You're almost certainly going to lose, okay? And he's just better at it. He's a really nice guy, actually.
One thing I must appreciate about this professor is the fact that he's challenging his students to think for themselves. Look at something before you come to conclusion. I love this challenge he's giving them. This is how life should be. And this is what Charlie Kirk was doing. And I love the fact that he pointed out that a lot of the clips out there about Charlie Kirk, those negative ones, all of them are taken out of context. Because by the time you go back and watch the full clip, you realize that somebody intentionally did this. And I understand that a lot of creators, they just want to, go viral. They want their channel to go viral. So they're doing everything. Those ones that don't have morals. Which is why, which is why it is important to know somebody, the value they stand for. What is their core value in life. Because it's what makes or mar them. I don't know if you guys are getting my point. I love the fact that it challenges the student, and it brings me so much joy that there are a lot of students in his class. One would think that lecturers like this would have fewer students, but it's amazing to see that there are a lot of students, and you can see how they are silent, listening to him. And of course, this is not the first time he's challenging them. It's obvious from the way you see them listening keenly. This is nice, actually. I will just leave the link to the long videos. This is like an hour, 8 minutes plus. I'll leave the link in the descriptions for those that want to watch the longer or the full video. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Do you think that those videos taken out of context about Charlie Kirk, do you think they did dangers or they're just videos? Let me know in the comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.